You stop eating the day you become an adult. Not because something is wrong with you. Not because the food runs out. Because something in your body switches off the hunger and replaces it with a single, deafening command. Find her. You haven't built a web in weeks. You haven't caught a meal in longer than that. You weigh less than 1/100th of what she weighs. Your only remaining purpose is to walk, across open ground, past every bird, every lizard, every gust of wind that wants to end you, following a chemical trail drifting from something 125 times your mass. 88 out of every 100 males who begin this walk die before they reach the web. You don't know that number. Something in your legs simply goes. The ones who arrive find something worse than the journey. You hatch in the dark. Not the dark of nighttime. Not the dark of a shadow under a rock. The dark of a sealed silk sphere no bigger than a marble, packed wall to wall with 249 of your siblings, and none of you can see. You can't eat yet. Your body is soft and translucent, and your legs barely hold your weight. Your first act of existence is to shed your own skin, to molt inside this sealed space while your brothers and sisters press against you from every side. Some of them stop moving. The ones that grew faster, the ones that molted first, have already started. They bite. They pierce. They drain the fluid from the bodies beside them. You don't know what is happening. You don't need to. Something in your legs pulls you toward the wall and away from the stillness. You chew through the silk. Light hits you for the first time. You are the size of a pinhead. You weigh less than a grain of sand. And you are standing on the web of something that could swallow you without noticing. Your mother. You climb. You don't know why. You reach the highest point you can find, raise your abdomen into the air, and release a single thread of silk into the wind. The wind takes you. You don't choose where you go. You don't choose if you land. Most of your siblings land in water, on pavement, in the open mouths of sparrows. The thread snaps and they fall, and that is the full length of their lives. You land in a dark corner beneath a woodpile. Everything costs something. You don't know that yet. Skip forward. You are building. Not the neat circular web you see in picture books. That web belongs to something else. Yours is a mess, a sprawling, three-dimensional tangle of silk that looks like a mistake but isn't. Every thread is placed by something deeper than thought. The trick is the trap lines. You anchor vertical threads to the ground, coat them with glue, and pull them tight. When something walks into one, a cricket, a beetle, anything with legs, the line snaps free. The stored energy launches the prey off the ground and into your web above it, suspended and helpless. You don't chase food. Food flies to you. But the silk costs you. Every inch of it drains protein from your body. You spin up to 180 feet a week, and every foot comes from the last thing you ate. Stop eating, and you stop building. Stop building, and nothing flies to you again. Everything costs something. Skip forward. You are full-grown now. 8 molts behind you. 170 days of building. Your body is glossy and black and round, and on your underside sits a red hourglass, bright as wet paint. It is not decoration. It is a warning. It tells anything with eyes, the thing inside me will ruin you. And it will. Your fangs hold a molecule 130,000 times heavier than water. When it hits a nerve ending, it doesn't poison the cell. It opens it. The molecule unfurls a protein spike and punches a hole straight through the cell wall. Calcium floods in. Every chemical signal in the nerve fires at once. Every muscle locks. The nervous system doesn't shut down. It lights up. Everywhere. All at once. And does not stop. Drop for drop, your venom hits harder than a rattlesnake's. But you almost never spend it. Not all of it. When something too large touches your web, a hand, a boot, something you could never eat, you bite. And more than half the time, you deliver nothing. Zero venom. Because venom is expensive. Because wasting it on something that is not food is a cost you will pay for days. You sit in the dark and you wait. Your silk does the rest. Your web carries chemical signals that break apart in the air and drift outward for enormous distances. You can control how fast they break down. You can change the chemistry of your own silk to broadcast louder, farther, pulling males toward you from ranges they will not survive. You are a trap, a factory, and a broadcasting tower. You weigh less than a paperclip. Then something lands on the edge of your web. It is blue, metallic blue, and it is not food. The blue mud Dauber wasp does not blunder into your silk. It lands softly, deliberately, on the outermost thread. It reaches forward with its front legs and plucks the line. Short, sharp vibrations. The exact frequency of a trapped fly. Your body moves before you decide. You rush out from the dark toward the signal. The signal is a lie. The wasp drives its stinger into your chest. Not to kill you, to freeze you. Your legs lock, your fangs lock, your spinnerets lock. You are alive and aware and you cannot move. It picks you up and flies. It carries you to a mud tube the width of a finger. Inside sit 20 to 40 other spiders. All widows, all paralyzed, all alive. The wasp lays one egg on the last body, seals the entrance, and leaves. The larva hatches in the dark. It drinks the blood first, to keep the organs working, to keep you fresh. It eats you from the inside over weeks, and you stay alive through all of it. Everything costs something. Sometimes the cost is everything. Skip forward. You survive the wasp, you survive the birds. You survive the weeks when nothing touches the web, and your body burns through the last reserves it has. You rebuild. You broadcast. The chemical signal goes out. And then, a vibration on the outermost thread. Not the frantic thrashing of prey, not the calculated pluck of a wasp. A slow, deliberate rhythm. A pattern you recognize. A male. He is one of the 12. He has walked for days. He has not eaten since he became an adult. He weighs less than 1% of what you weigh. If you were a 150-pound person, he would be the size of a guinea pig. And he has been following your signal through a world that killed 88 of the 100 who started with him. He doesn't come straight to you. He can't. He begins cutting your silk. Snipping the barrier threads, balling them up, spraying his own silk over them to bury your scent. He is erasing your broadcast so no rival can find you. This takes hours. When he finally reaches you, he has to mate twice. You have 2 storage chambers, and he needs to fill both. He inserts one of his mating arms. The tip breaks off inside you. A plug, designed to block every male who comes after. In the Australian species, what happens next is worse. The male throws himself backward, a full somersault. He lands his own abdomen directly on your fangs. You begin to eat him. He is still transferring sperm. To survive long enough for the second insertion, he crushes his own organs toward the front of his body, physically compressing them away from your jaws while you chew through the lower half of his abdomen. He is alive for all of it. 65% of males end this way. The survivors are mutilated, sterile, and unable to eat. They die within weeks. You live for 3 years. You produce over 2,000 offspring, and you never leave the web. But the web is not safe either. A wasp the size of a rice grain lands on your egg sac. She punctures the silk with a needle thinner than a human hair and deposits 40 eggs inside. Her eggs hatch in 3 days. Yours take 30. By the time your spiderlings should emerge, the wasp larvae have eaten every one of them. You guard the sac for weeks. You guard a shell full of nothing. And now there is something else. The brown widow, your cousin, your competitor, your replacement. She is bolder, more aggressive. She hunts you in your own web and takes it. Her egg sacs are covered in spikes the parasitic wasps can't pierce. She survives what erases you. City by city, she is winning. You are not the untouchable predator the world imagines. You are an animal under siege from every direction, running a metabolism you can barely afford, guarding offspring that are hollowed out before they hatch, mating with males who die for the privilege, and losing territory to a cousin who does everything you do but better. During World War II, the United States military discovered that your silk was stronger than steel wire of the same weight. They strapped widows to bent coat hangers and pulled the thread directly from their bodies, spooling it onto reels for the crosshairs of bomber scopes and sniper sights. 180 feet of silk per week from a body smaller than a thumbnail. 180 feet every 7 days, week after week, month after month. 180 feet until spiders that should have lived 1 year died in 4 months. No one recorded their names. No one recorded how many. Someone recorded that every strand held. You sit in your web tonight. The air is warm. A moth brushes a trap line, and the thread snaps, and the moth rises into the tangle, and you descend, and the venom does what the venom does, and for a few hours, the cost is covered. Then the temperature shifts. The air moves. Somewhere on the edge of your silk, something lands. You can't tell what it is yet. There is one more animal that builds something stronger than itself. It doesn't use silk. It doesn't use venom. It uses sound. And when the sound stops, everything around it dies. Next time,